Wow, that
Hello,
was
hello,
interesting.
and welcome to Magical Witchy World TV. I am Star Ravenhawk.
And I'm Rhonda Allen. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday.
Yes, and I know we're still having lots of shade of that super full moon from last night. So many blessings of that Gemini super full moon.
Yes,
And
indeed.
would you take us through? That was the last super full moon of the year. I think there were three altogether. This was the
Mhm,
third and last one. All
mhm.
right. So now on with
On
the show.
with the show.
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
I love the song.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Fred Scarf of Dark Moon Spirit did that, created that song for the show. So I'm so grateful to him for
Oh,
that.
that's dope.
Yes, so
Yes.
grateful. Thank you, Fred. But
Yes.
welcome tonight, Sahira Anaisa El Fenice. I am hopefully getting everything correct. But welcome,
Perfect.
welcome, and welcome. Thank you so much for making the time to join us. And I know you are family here, so we don't have to go into, but I do have to introduce you to everyone. So I will read through your bio so everyone watching live or on playback knows who you are. So before we begin our conversation, Sahira Anaisa Al Fenice, a Puerto Rican born on the mainland USA, has felt the presence of magic guiding her from her earliest moments. As a Yayi Nyanga in Palo Mayombe, New York City, new NYS licensed Reverend Certified Aromatherapist, herb and essential oil mixologist, high priestess of the NYC Wiccan Family Temple, founded by Star Ravenhawk and Elder Luna Rojas, high priestess and elder, and compassionate death doula. Sahira is dedicated to mastering diverse global magics. Her mission is to weave a tapestry of magical knowledge, enriching her community. With a thirst for knowledge and a heart committed to service, Sahira stands as a beacon for those exploring the deeper mysteries of life. She embodies the roles of reverend, high priestess, educator, and death doula with grace and passion, guiding and inspiring all who seek to expand their minds and worlds. Whether through her teachings, transformative aromatherapy blends, or profound spiritual insights, Sahira invites you to embark on a journey of magical discovery and personal growth. Again, thank you so much for joining. We will
Yes.
be scrolling as we do where people can find you throughout the show. And that is a little hint of magic on all the socials.
Okay.
So thank you
Yes.
and welcome.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Thank you for having me. I feel like I'm back home again.
Yes.
Thank you
As you
guys.
are, as you are,
Yes.
because you're gonna be coming back to some panels this the coming up in 2026.
Yes.
It's all
Yes.
Yes,
good.
and I have
All
some
good.
content for you for the show. So
That's
you
Awesome.
guys are
Awesome.
gonna see me
exactly.
Holy shit.
again.
That's looking forward to all of it.
And
Okay,
that's
so we've been wanting to do this with you for a long time, so we're glad to have you here to do it with us. Okay, so one of the first questions we ask people, because we know that people kind of go through an arc of what they call themselves or what they believe themselves to be in spiritual wise or faith wise. And we're not meaning like your title that other people give you, but what titles that you deemed yourself as you went through your different journey to where you are now. So from where you first were came to it and where you are now. If you can tell us a little bit about that arc of what you called yourself and what you are now.
Um, that's a really interesting question. Because, it's the way I was raised. I was kind of born with some gifts, right? And it was always hidden, like you didn't really talk about it, right? And I was raised Catholic, so you definitely didn't talk about it, right?
mhm,
Um,
yeah.
so I always identified as a bruja, right? But it was like a bruja, like in the closet bruja, like shh, don't tell anyone. Even when I said things that I had to say to people because one thing about spiritual communication, they will badger me until I tell the person what I have to tell them. It'll drive me nuts. So sometimes I'll just be like, don't ask where it comes from, and they'll ask me, are you a fortune teller? Are you a gypsy? And I'm like, no, I just know things. Like that's what I would say. I would just know things. So I went through my life just knowing things. And then I, around my late 20s, my one of my best friends, um, known her for over 40 years, was in my sweet 16 and everything. He's a
Mm.
santero. And so he was always, trying to get me interested and pulling me in. They always talk about, hey, you are gifted. And I was just like, man, I don't, I'm a scientist. I got to poke my holes in, my fingers in the holes, like my mother used to call me St. Thomas because I would literally have to put my fingers, I have to see it, right? And so I went from
Right.
that phase to something that happened to me. I won't go into it, but something that happened to me that kind of triggered my spirituality. Like literally the hairs on the back of my neck stood up and I was like, holy smokes, I have to call Richard
Mm.
and we have to have a conversation. So with him, oh, excuse me, I
Mhm.
forgot to
Mhm.
turn off my phone. Sorry. Um,
It's all good.
so
Life.
um, when I reached out to him and I started kind of getting involved, I was kind of an initiate. They talked to, I called myself a spiritist. I was doing Mesa Blanca, White Table, all that good stuff. And, Bruja was kind of in the background, but I never really talked about it. And then,
Mm.
fast forwarding a few years later, I met Star and I joined the Wiccan Family Temple and I became a student. And that's when I finally became comfortable with like coming out of the closet and calling myself a witch, right? But
Mhm.
not a witch by like what most people term witch. Like it's weird what people call witches. Like it's I'm
Mhm.
old school. It's like, you
Throwback.
know, grandmama in the kitchen, mixing her herbs. Like you don't go to the doctor, you go to
Yeah.
grandma and she heals you, right? The
Right.
curandera. And so, that's my tradition. And then I come here and American witches are different. I don't want to
Mm.
say they're less than or they're just
Mhm.
different from what I'm used to. So it was almost like, I had to even choose like, are you pagan? Are you Wiccan? And I was like, I'm a witch. Like, what difference does it make, right? Are you gray witch? Are you a white witch? Are you
It's
left
excellent.
hand? Are you right hand? I'm a witch. Like, color has no
Mhm.
magic, right? And so, I mean, magic has no color. See,
With her
that
alcohol.
is so
Yeah.
funny. Sometimes I think to myself, am I dyslexic? Because I always reverse my words. Um,
That's okay.
there's
It's
got to
Mm.
be a
okay.
message in
Yeah.
that, right? So,
Mhm.
what I say today, Sonia now, Sahira now, is I'm a witch. I am a bruja. I'm a
Mhm. Mhm.
Yaginganga, a Palomayombe. Um, I'm a medium. I have gifts. If I have to go further, and no, I don't fortune tell. No, I can't tell you what your future is, and no, I can't tell you if your boyfriend's coming back to you. I can't do that. Um, unless the spirits tell me otherwise, I can't really give you that information. So that's
You.
really what it is. I know that was a roundabout way of saying it, but basically, now I feel comfortable actually calling myself a witch, calling myself a bruja,
Yeah.
and it's
Mhm.
empowering, and I'm not
Yeah.
cowering and hiding anymore, which is really, you know,
It's a
um,
big deal. Yeah.
it
It's
just
a big
opens so
deal.
many doors, and it helps you to see so many things and the community and the connections you build once you're honest
Mhm.
about, and you feel like you can walk in your honesty. That's a
Yeah.
bit, and not caring what
Yes.
people say.
Yeah. And that
That's
takes time.
important.
That takes time more than people realize.
And maturity. It took me a
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
long time. But like I said before, I think that the where how I got here, how I got to this comfort level was definitely Wiccan Family Temple Star, the students, the teachers, like y'all all gave me that platform where I could just speak in my truth, right? And where I can walk in my
Right
truth.
on.
Right.
And that's what it's all about. That's why, I love our community,
Yeah.
and I'm down for it 1,000%.
Oh, okay.
Right on. Fabulous,
Yeah.
fabulous, fabulous. Well, that started taking us down the trail of the question I'd like to ask, which is really to go back to your roots and tell us a bit more about what brought you to that place of like, okay, you told us a little bit about your best friend and how he was trying to let you know there's something going on here with you and we need to let you embrace this. Tell us more about when you first really acknowledged, okay, I do know some things. What is going on here for me? And when did you first start really saying, okay, I have to embrace this path?
Ooh, child. Let's
Mhm.
see.
Mhm.
Lots of throwbacks. Lots of throwbacks. I have to go all the way back to my college years. And that was a
Right
long
on.
time ago. You know, my mom would always kind of try to get me to like open my mind and embrace my gifts. And I was like, Mama, I'm a
Mm.
scientist. Like
Uh,
I'm materia, it's the material. Like I can't understand it, and I kind of don't want to. I'm not ready for it.
mm,
And then I was coming out of my work study, job, and I'm walking down the
mhm.
street, and I'm heading back to my dorm, and I'm like, la 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 la. I got out early. It was a beautiful summer day, and I was like, oh, chill, right? And
Right.
I'm standing on the corner waiting for the light to change, and I hear someone, it's a male voice, telling me, go to Kmart. And I was like, Kmart's totally in the opposite direction for where I had to go. I didn't want to
Mm,
deal with it. I didn't have any money. I was
right.
broke. I was a college student. I was broke. I don't have money. Why am I going to Kmart? And I was like, I don't want to go to Kmart.
Yeah.
That's a waste of my time. Like, and I'm gonna want things I can't afford. So I'm just gonna
Mhm.
go back to my dorm. And he was like, go to Kmart. And I was like, oh shoot, okay. And literally it was
Mm.
almost uncontrollable. Like my body was moving. And I literally did an about face and I'm walking. Not a minute later, I hear a crash. I turn back and a car had run through a red light and it crashed
Oh,
into the building that was right behind me. It crossed
oh,
right on the corner I was standing on. Like literally was so close, I still felt the heat of the car. That's
mm.
what startled me. It was like, what the heck? And I was just like,
Yes.
and I said, oh. And literally, I was like, I went to a payphone because cell phones weren't around at that time. Went to a payphone. And I was like,
Mhm.
mommy, right? Because like my mom
Yes.
would be the one that would know, and she was like, I told you that you need to open your mind and embrace your gifts. And I was like, but why is this man talking to me? And she was just like, you know who he is. And I was like, I don't. And she was like, think about it and call me
Mm,
back. So I
mhm.
pondered on it for a little bit, and all of a sudden I knew who he was. And then he was Michael, Archangel Michael. Michael always walked
Okay.
with me. Always
Mm,
walked with me.
mm.
Um,
That is fire. Love
crazy,
this. Love this.
crazy. And I was just like, shit,
No, for
I
real.
gotta do something. I gotta do something. But then, you get lazy. You're young, you get lazy. You're like, nah, I'm gonna go get this job in advertising and I'm gonna be good and I'm gonna be on, Fifth Avenue and my Lubies, right? Not that I knew what Lubies were
Right.
back then, right? Back then it was like Louis, right? So,
Yeah.
and when I got out of college and I graduated and I did really well, I couldn't get a job. Advertising had tanked
Mm.
out, couldn't get a job. And I was like, so I
Wow.
went through this major depression, couldn't even get up out of bed. Nothing was
Oh
going
my
on for
God.
me. I was just like, I don't even know. I said I went to an Ivy League school. I'm so freaking smart and I can't even get a job. Like I'm a loser, right? So I was really down on myself and I was having nightmares. I was always
Mm.
a sleepwalker, sleep talker, but I was having
Mm.
nightmares. And one day my mother hears me screaming and she comes into
Mm.
my room and she sees me on the bed and it looked like someone was attacking me. But there was no one there. But she saw
Right.
imprints on my skin, like hands. And
Mm.
she was like,
Mm.
so I guess she screamed and it startled this entity,
Mm.
and it went away. And
Mhm.
then she was asking me all these questions, like, did you know what was happening? And I was like, Mommy, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, I was sleeping. And she was just like, huh. So she took me Friday night to Mesa Blanca Don Louis.
Ah,
You know, Don
uh-huh.
Louis was the guy that you always went to whenever you had a spiritual question or,
Right.
something was funky in your life. So, and I was just like, I don't want to go to that, those crazy people, and then they're gonna throw like Florida water at me, and I'm gonna smell like smoke. I don't want to go. And when my mother was like, we going." So she dragged me there,
Mhm.
and they read me. I was naked. I was naked.
Mhm.
The things that they told me. I mean, they even said
Mm.
something about, no, I'm by no means, I'm suicidal. No. And not
Mm-mm.
because I love myself so much. I just, what's the point? Like, I'm just like, I'm that
Right,
person.
right,
I'm
right.
like, let me just work through it. Right. I'm more
Right,
perseverer.
right,
Right. I don't
right.
give up. And so they literally told me that I was going to commit suicide. Like, I've been thinking about it, and I was, but I wasn't telling
Mm.
anyone because I was ashamed. And I was like, where are these
Mhm.
thoughts coming from? I don't know. So they did the work on me. I won't go into it because it would be a really long story. I won't go into it, but
Right.
basically, they cleared it up, and this entity
Mhm.
that was from a past life
Mm.
actually became my protector.
Interesting.
Mm.
And I feel sorry for any male that
Mhm.
comes for me because they get
See?
beaten the hell up. I mean, like literally, I saw
See?
it once, and I was just like, how is that we go down the stairs and there's no, I didn't do it. There's no one here. And I was like, oh, my dude. And so I was known,
Mhm. Mhm.
my community, as don't F with her because
Right.
she's a witch and she will throw you down some stairs. And I was like, if that's what I gotta do to
Right.
save myself, then I'm fine with that. But
Yeah.
and that's when I
Things.
realized, okay, I need to take this more seriously and I need to learn.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
couldn't find a person to teach me. Even with my godfather, who I love,
Mhm.
adore, and I'm grateful to, um,
Mhm.
in the Santeria community and the Palo community, they don't teach you anything until you initiate. And I'm like, how are you
Mhm.
expecting me to jump into this thing not knowing what I'm getting
Yeah.
into? Shouldn't you at least tell me?
Fair.
I mean, even in Catholic school, there are catechism classes, right? Before you go through your rites,
Right.
you go through. It's like,
Right.
what's the secret? And that's
Right.
an issue that
Right.
I have with sometimes some of the HR communities. No disrespect to anyone.
Mhm.
I know that
No,
these are
understood.
ancestral secrets. I get it,
Mhm.
but you can't expect someone to commit without them knowing the full extent of
What
that
is it they're
commitment
committing
and what
to?
it
What they're
entails,
committing.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so that was always an issue for me. I always asked too many questions. Even in school, Catholic school, I got sent to the principal's office every once a week at least because I
Wow.
would be like,
This
why
is
do I need to
fabulous.
confess my sins to you? Aren't you a sinner? Because I saw you smoking a cigarette outside. Isn't that like? But I would do it
Right.
innocently. I'm just stating facts.
Right.
I wasn't being a
Right.
jerk. And
You're
literally, they
being
would
a
be
kid
like,
asking questions.
go to the principal's office, and I'd be like,
Yeah, girl, that you can't. You're not allowed to call them out. You're not allowed to do that.
Nope.
but you could
Nope.
call me
Nope.
out. You could
Nope.
call me
Right,
out. I'm the
right,
sinner.
Right.
yeah,
Like, okay.
yeah.
So that was a real issue for me. And that's why, traditional religion had not worked for me. Um, since high school. I would go just because, my mom would attend church or whatever. And it's nice to have that community feel. But
Mhm.
I was
Yeah,
just like, I'm good. I'm
yeah,
good with God lives in my heart, right? Or now it's for me, it's the gods, right?
right,
They're here.
Right.
I don't
Right.
need to go to physical
Right.
place in
right,
order to have community or to commune with them. Like I
right.
could commune
That's
with them
good.
right
That's
here.
that's good. That's good. So
Right
it
on.
kind of leads and segue a little bit into part of what I want to ask you next, which is from your point of view, not anyone else's, but from your point of view, what does it mean to be the witch, that witch?
Um, one thing that I will say, and this is kind of like the blueprint I chose to follow, and I want
Mm.
to build, work towards. Um, being a witch is there's first of all, it's a responsibility, right? A
Mm.
huge responsibility because you're an educator, you're a guide, you're a leader, right? And it's a job, right? And it's a job that, it's literally like a lot of times you don't get paid enough to do this job, but
Mm,
this is the job that we do in service, right? um you know and a witch isn't about casting spells and, like, that's Fantasia. That's like the movie. Like, when I think of, like, the wizard and casting spells and, oh, and all these TV shows and stuff, that's cute and all, because I watch them too, don't get me wrong. I'm a supernatural girl
right.
all the way. But at the end of the day, being a witch is not about casting spells and hexing people, or, communing with the spirits, and I know what you did last night. Like, you know being a witch is a responsibility,
Yeah.
right? To
Mhm,
service your community, to lead, to
mhm.
guide, to educate. And it's a weighty responsibility. It's one that, took me a really long time to kind of say, okay, you know what, y'all beat me down. Like, okay, I'm gonna be this witch. I'm gonna be this witch. Because for most of my life I thought, I don't have anything to teach. I don't know enough. Like, I'm still learning. But the thing is,
Mm,
in life, we're all learning from each
Yeah.
other, right?
right, right,
Um,
right,
and I will be a student for the rest of my life and into the next.
Yeah. Me too.
That's
right
always been
on.
me.
Yeah.
That is that is the case. That's so I appreciate you sharing that piece about being a witch is also embracing the
Yeah.
responsibility of it.
Yeah.
That's
That's
yeah. Thank
important.
you for
That's
that
very
call
important.
out. Exactly,
I
exactly.
think it's I
Um,
think it's because, what I've seen in the community, in the last few years, it's made me kind of sad. It's made
mm,
me kind of disappointed, because I feel like that community connection has kind of like dwindled, right?
mm,
We're
mhm,
we're not for each other anymore. It's all
mm,
about, like, I'm the best witch, I'm the top witch,
mm.
and I'm like, okay, who cares?
Well, I'm gonna
Right.
stop you there really quickly because we have a community question for you after later on. So let's
Okay.
we'll push it towards that. Okay,
Okay.
so go ahead, Ron.
Yes. So tell us more about how you incorporate your practice, your magical practice into your daily life.
it
How is that a part of your
It's
daily
everything.
day?
It's funny, because from the moment I wake up, I'm literally, asking for blessings for the day. Help me to live,
Mhm,
help me to have a great day today. Help me to do the right thing. Help me to be the best person that I know I am. Help me to do this. Even when, with my tea, I have my teacup right here. I'm counting the stirs, right? And it's like, literally, I'm like clocking spells with it. And
right,
I never
right.
realized I did that.
Mm,
And one thing, a little aside, so I'm a little OCD, and I was actually diagnosed, right? Which I laughed
mhm.
at my doctor, because I was like, I've been knowing this for, like, since I could walk, and y'all are just finally
Right.
figuring it out. And so, I thought that me doing the 1, 2, 3, the da 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 da, and rhyming, I was always rhyming,
Mm,
and I thought that
mhm.
that was part of my OCD. I didn't realize that I'm literally spellcasting. And
Yeah.
until I took stars class, and I was like, holy
I
moly,
love
I'm a
it.
spellcaster. I'm a bad, right? I'm a bad witch, right? So I was really excited, because I was like, okay, so there's not something deficient. There's not something, there's not there,
Right.
I'm not short circuiting, right? It's
Mm,
actually who I am, right? And so it's everything that I do, even the way I bathe. When, I'm
mhm.
asking for blessings, and I'm bringing the water up, when I'm trying to cleanse myself, and I'm doing this, like, it's always been a thing for me.
Yeah.
And
Right on.
then I educate myself, and I'm like, oh wow, I always knew what I was doing, and I didn't know I knew what I was doing. But maybe I didn't know what I was doing. Maybe they were telling me, and I just didn't realize it.
You're right.
Which is, so let me not take the credit for that. I'm not that special.
I love that.
Well, you
I
can take
love
a
that.
credit in
But
a way because if you didn't listen and you just, ignored all of it, you know what I mean? So you have to take credit for the fact that you didn't just listen, you acted. So there.
yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay.
and you didn't minimize
Yeah,
those things
yeah.
that were coming, like, I love that you also say that, "Oh, I wasn't deficient. This is not OCD." I mean, that is a gift and a grace that you are
Yes.
giving
Yeah,
yourself. Thank
yeah.
you and blessings.
Yes.
Thank
Love
you.
that.
Yeah.
It took a long time to get here, I'll be honest with you. It hasn't been easy
Uh,
because even going through my educations and my learnings in the back of your mind, right? Because you have that programming,
yes.
right? That
Just
Yes.
and
noodling at you.
I was always that girl that looked in the mirror and was like, this is what you're not, and this is what you're
Mm,
doing wrong, and this is, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong. And it
yeah.
took me a long time, and still sometimes I have days where I look in the mirror and I'm like, you're not where you should be. Like, what's
Mm,
up? What's going on? And I
yeah.
have to give myself grace. And I think
Yeah.
that that's important as, as people on this planet, especially where we're at right now.
Mhm.
Grace is something, it's not a luxury anymore. It should be a commodity. We should be
Yeah.
Thank you.
embracing grace like we're
Mm,
breathing air.
yeah.
Yes.
It's something that we require these days. All
Yes.
right. So actually, that kind of segues really well. Tell us a little bit about what you consider important to you, either right now or in general.
What's important to me
Hmm.
in terms of my craft, you mean?
And it could be
Or
that, or it could be just anything that you could think. It doesn't necessarily have to be what your craft. It could be anything in general, because it's all, who you are is encompasses all of it. So
yep. Well, I think I touched on it before, and maybe this is the right time to speak more about it. Community.
Mhm.
Community and service are super important to me.
community is the next question.
Oh, I jumped the gun, but
That's
but
all good.
but it's true. Like, and and I'll briefly talk about it just in terms of, it's not all about me.
Mhm.
The narcissism that we see in
Mm.
this world right now. It's not,
Mhm.
I've never been that person. And I think that sometimes that's why, you know, I kind of, my career was kind of cut in half because I was never that person to be like, look at me, I'm in the spotlight, I'm
Mm.
this, I'm that top. Like, I'm just like, look, we're a team working together.
Yeah.
I can't get shit that, oh, excuse me, sorry, I
No,
didn't
it's
mean to
Okay,
cut
it's
you
all
off.
that's
good.
cool.
It's
That's
Okay,
cool.
fine.
okay, good, because I curse a
Yeah.
lot.
It's all
I
good.
can't get anything done without my people, and they're not standing behind me, supporting me. They're walking beside me, and we're a community
Yes.
together, working towards something. We're united front, and I
Yes.
always felt that way. But the more time passes, and the more I see, like, this, we're all little islands. We're becoming so separate. We're becoming so
Divisive. Yeah.
disconnected,
Mm.
right? And
Mhm.
it's so explosive to me because I'm just like, okay, that kind of, the basic premise of what community is and strengthen community, it you kind of blow it up when you
Yeah.
move in that direction. Like,
Yeah.
there's strength in one person, right? I feel like I'm strong, but can I move mountains? Can I change legislature? Can
Mhm.
I can I, a protest of one is not gonna get heard. A
Mhm.
protest of many, that's
Mhm.
disruptive. And then you
Yeah.
have to stop and listen, right?
Mhm.
But we have to unite together, and we have to be like, not one-minded, because I don't
Mm.
believe in like Borg mind or hive
Mhm.
mind. Like, I don't believe in that for human beings.
Mhm.
I mean, at least not for me. It doesn't work for me. But you know, kind of connecting with other people, that's that to me, that's natural. It's balance,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
And we're super unbalanced. Like, that's all I
Yeah.
have to say. I walk out in the world
It's
and I don't feel stable. I feel like I need to go back to the
fair.
house because
Fair.
it's unstable
Things are
No.
not the way
there.
it's supposed to be, in other
Yeah.
words, right
No.
now.
And that calls out, and as Star was saying, our next question is about community. And I just have to jump in on that point that you were making about the the individual, like, we're just so isolated, and it's all um there's literally, I'm working on a paper right now because I'm back in school because I'm crazy. But
Congratulations.
thank you.
I love it. I
And
love education.
it's about literally it's about religion right now, and the notion that antiquities in the antiquity in ancient days, religion was not considered this individual experience. It was the people, and this was just the structure that we all worked under. It wasn't this individual or this separate thing of, oh, this person is a figure with it under the umbrella of a whatever the church, whatever the synagogue, whatever the temple, whatever the tradition, and they were practicing on their own. That's a very modern concept, right?
Mhm.
So that that notion of feeling so individual, like these little teeny islands trying to get work done is very that is it stands out so much right now for me. And that book that I was reading is 1912. It's an old ass book. But
Wow.
yeah, but it's it's a fabulous thing that I had not thought of in that way. So the question of community now brings us to tell us more what you are feeling or what your work is with community or the thing that you would want to see happen or enriched right now when it comes to community.
So many different things, right? So many
Good.
different things I'm not seeing. So, first of all, just in terms of the individual, folks kind of blame remote work or like
Mm,
COVID. When COVID happened,
yeah.
that's bull.
Yeah.
This has been happening for a while, right? I don't know if it's capitalism, because capitalism, all of a sudden it becomes like, my money is greener than your money, or I'm better
Mm,
than you because I have more zeros in my bank account, which to me I couldn't give two hoo-has about that, right?
right.
You can tell I'm trying to PG-13 it, my language. um, but what I want to see in community, um, and it takes one, it takes one community to kind of inspire others. Like, let's say for our magical community, what I want
Mm,
to see is more unity. And
mhm.
that doesn't mean that I have to agree with everything you say. That doesn't mean I even have to like you. I may not like you as a person, but I have to respect you as a person,
Mhm.
right? And the thing is, most people, walk under the assumption you have to earn your respect. I believe in that, but I do believe that you have to be cordial and respectful in the beginning, right? And then if you see if a person that you don't vibe with a person, that does you don't have to have like go out for coffee or hang out with the person, but y'all could be in the same community and work together. If you
Right.
have like if y'all are working towards the same goals. I think that what's wrong with the lack of community is that everyone has a separate agenda and there's no unifying goal.
Mm,
There's no purpose. Everybody thinks the purpose is to survive or to make money or to be
mhm,
rich or to have my, retirement home in Tahiti or whatever it is. That could be cute. Those are personal goals though. Like,
mhm,
universal goals should encompass community, should encompass more than just you and your partner or you and your best friend, right?
Right.
And
Mm.
and that's what I don't see. I see a lot of, you know, I'm so great, you know, you should spend your money with me. I'm so great in our community. Or,
mhm,
I'm the top. Or don't go to his business or to her business because they're whack. Come to me
mhm,
because I'm the real deal. Really? Well, if
mhm,
you're talking so much smack about a person, that makes me question how real you really are.
mhm.
Because when you're good and when you work for your community, you strive to promote the goodness of your community,
Yeah.
right?
No, I agree.
And you're quiet. You don't talk, you know, shit about other people. I
Other
mean,
people.
that takes a lot of energy. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of
Truth.
energy to be negative. Like, trust me,
Truth.
I was that girl that was like glass half empty. Like, oh, it is what it is. It's half empty.
Yeah.
And and one day I woke up and I said, well, damn, but at least I have half a glass left, right? That you should celebrate that. That's some
Right.
good shit right there. I should celebrate it, right? And
Yeah.
so I pivoted and I turned that around because for my own sanity and mental health, I needed to be more positive
Right
Right.
on. Yeah.
because it's in my personality. I think I
Right.
get it from my dad. My dad was like that too. My mom was always a bright light, and my father was always that storm cloud all day long. And I'd be like,
Well, you
unless we hit
know.
a number. If you hit a number, then it was champagne and strawberries for everybody.
Well, that's a whole nother story. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Love
So
that.
then it's kind of again another one that kind of segues really well with the questions is what would you like to see us as witches accomplish?
Mm.
Which you kind of said already, but kind of go
Well,
more into what you think.
and I don't want to be kind of that, I'm that person that always talks about there's something that's happening. There's this thing in the world that's happening, like, and it is inspiring fear in me. Like
Mm,
literally, there's this, I'm paranoid almost about it. There's this
mm,
thing, there's something bad coming,
Yeah.
right? Um, and I know that if we united as a community and work towards a common goal, we could fight that bad thing, right? And
mhm.
things could be okay for us. It's almost like, and maybe this is coming from, I was watching on Netflix, I was watching Stranger Things, right? And
Mhm,
and I
mhm,
was just like, oh my gosh, that's like what's happening now. Like,
mhm.
no spoilers, so I won't talk about
Right.
it.
Right,
But
right, right.
you know,
I
it's
haven't watched
little. Oh,
it.
you should watch it. It's
I
very
have
good. It's
to.
on
Yeah,
Netflix.
I'm
I
ready. I have
literally
to watch
watched
it.
all seasons again just to refresh my memory, and I watched the last season. Yeah, I will do that. I will binge all day long.
Mm,
But you know, there's something, and no one is acknowledging it. And people are blaming COVID, and they're blaming RSV, and they're
mm,
blaming the bad economy, and they're blaming, you know, a, a not so great administration. We won't go into that. It's not. We're not
mhm,
talking about politics today, but it's not. That's easy to fix.
mhm,
There's something spiritually scary that's happening right now.
Yeah.
I smell it in the atmosphere.
mhm.
I smell it. And I'm just like, we're all so divided. Like, it's like uh and I can't remember the name of that show. There was like one of the last witchy shows that, where like a group of she recruited a bunch of witches, like random witches,
Right,
because she had to power up, and
right.
they needed all that power in order to power up. That's what I feel we have to do, except that she kind of like killed them, which
Ah,
was the bad part. But what I'm saying is no one's dying today.
no,
What I'm saying is that if we all join together, imagine the power we could raise.
Yeah.
point.
Imagine how we could fight back if we all just join together. We don't all have to agree. We don't all have to like each other. We can
Right.
all have our separate agendas, but we all want to survive. We all want to live, and we want to live well.
Yeah.
I think
Exactly
that's
so.
a community feel,
Right.
right?
That's
Everybody
spot
wants to live
on.
well.
Spot
Yeah.
on.
So why can't we fight towards that? Why can't we work together to make that happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to be Susie Sunshine or whatever.
No.
I'm just saying, like, I think something we need to push back as hard as we're being pushed.
Right.
Mhm.
And I can't fight a brick wall.
Right.
But if I have my sisters and my brothers with me and we join together, we can blow holes through that brick
Right
Yeah.
wall
on.
and we can actually get to the other side.
Yeah.
Why
Right on.
not?
I'm
Yeah.
with you on that. I am with you on that. So, a little pivot here. This is a question to see about what is going on in your world right now, as far as that working with community and the teaching and that responsibility that you have. What projects do you have coming up or things that you're thinking about?
Interesting. So I have a few things on the horizon. So as most of y'all know, I've been kind of very quiet this last year and a half.
Mhm.
Um, First of all, my muggle job kind of was driving me crazy and I couldn't focus. And then I got this layoff, which was actually a blessing.
Bless.
And I was able to start healing
Beautiful.
and working on me, right? So I literally went underground. I went underground. I posted no content. Everything is really old.
Mhm.
I posted no content. I did nothing. Um, and then I realized, like, let me stop hiding and let me start doing. Right? If I want to see these changes happen in our community,
Mhm.
then maybe there's a call for me to help activate. Right?
Mm.
let me start building that content. Let me start working on things that I love to do. You know, I'm a certified aromatherapist. I love working with product and creating products. And even that, my artistic flair for like aromatherapy, it kind of was snuffed out. Literally, I felt like I had no nose anymore. And I was like, what
Mm.
is going on? And I realized that there were a lot of things that I need to work on myself. I needed to heal. I need to give myself some grace and some space.
Mhm.
I need to self care, right? And now I'm at a point where the turtle is coming out of its shell,
Right
right?
on.
And I'm starting to. So one of my very first projects for next year is, and I'm excited about this for the first time for myself. I'm going to be on the WitchCon online,
Right
platform.
on.
So I'm going to be teaching a workshop. I'm excited about that. Sacred Sense and magic and sacred magic, the magic, the art of magic. I know I got that wrong. I literally, sacred sense and spell work, the magic of aromatherapy. I always get
That's
that
all
wrong
good.
because I'm
It's
just,
okay.
I
It's okay.
tweak the title so many
Yes.
times. Um, so definitely, for everyone interested, check it out. Definitely there's a link in all my socials, and I'm sure that on Wiccan Family Temple socials there are links there also. You'll see it there. You can also go to WitchCon and find it, but definitely check out the classes. A ton of really amazing teachers are going to be sharing their thoughts
Yeah.
and and their plans for their magics, and it's just a really exciting platform. I've been doing it for a while, I think for the last 5 years, and I finally got the nerve. it literally I literally wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to apply, and then I was like, well, yeah, they'll probably reject me, but let me just put this in and see what happens. And I got accepted. I was like, oh shit. Now I gotta build the now I
Like, now
gotta
I
build the
gotta do a thing.
presentation. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I gotta build it. See, I can talk forever. But now it's gotta be organized and cute.
Yeah.
Because Christian don't play. So I'm not gonna mess that one up. I'm excited about that. But that's the first of many, and I'm also kind of in the midst of building my own business in aromatherapy. So you'll see
Fabulous.
some things in the next year. Um, I've been throwing around writing a book, and everybody wants me to write a book, and I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't think I have enough that people care to
I
hear,
don't even know which
and
way to start.
With that one, yeah.
I mean, I'm
yeah,
just gonna
I'm just
say
like, I have no idea.
you've set it out into the sent. You've already
Yes,
put it in the universe. It is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So yes, do the thing. Do the thing.
absolutely.
It will
Please do the
happen when
thing.
it happens. It'll happen.
Yep.
Yeah, when I'm ready,
Yep.
it'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll just be beautiful.
Do the
And
thing.
obviously, of course, I'm gonna come back you know, to the show and be back on your platform, which I'm
Yay.
excited about because I missed it.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
missed it,
You missed it.
even though it was not just 15 minutes, it was more like 25 minutes because I'm
Yeah.
verbose. But
So good.
I was excited to do it and to kind of share my thoughts and to build community. So, you know, it's just some things. I'm gonna start off slow, and towards the middle of the year, you'll see like a huge ramp up, and I'm excited about it. And
Fabulous.
I'm going crazy building editorial calendars, like me.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
no,
I'm
that's
just like,
fabulous. That's
And
excellent.
I was going to ask you next about events, but you already said it. So she's going to be on WitchCon, and I'm very glad. I'm
Yes.
there with her myself. So see you in WitchCon, and we're all going to have fun there.
I'm
With
excited.
her.
Yes.
Right on.
And Rhonda, since she already answered the events part, we'll just
Yes. I just want to say we have been scrolling your info so people can find you on the show on the socials at a little bit of magic. Little hint of magic.
yeah.
That's it. Excuse me. A little hint of magic. And then of course we have your old shows still on the channel, and when you are ready, we will be looking forward to having you back
Awesome.
next year. That'll
Yay!
be
We'll see you
awesome.
Yeah.
soon.
Thank you
I'm
so
excited.
much.
Thank you so
I
much
just
for this
want to check the
It
time.
was
chat.
such a pleasure having you here,
We
hon.
had so many
Thank
people
you.
in the chat. Yvette, hello. Looking forward to taking your class. So there you already have somebody getting ready to sign up.
What's up,
And everybody, yes,
girl?
thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight. It is fabulous.
This was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
And
yeah.
This was, but it always is with you guys.
right
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
It's
Well, you'll
I'm
be
family.
not
coming back for the
surprised.
It's
panels that we're going to be
family.
doing in soon, so it's all good.
I'm excited about the. I had a lot of fun doing the panels last year,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
let,
It'll be fun.
I'm down. Let me
It,
know.
that is
Absolutely,
coming up,
absolutely.
coming
All right.
soon. And now, everybody, just a refresher, definitely check out Sahira's old shows right here on Magical Witchy World TV.
All right, all right.
Woohoo!
Just
That
we're
was so
down to
much
the
fun.
last month in 2025. And so your December 2025 astrology, the last forecast of this very transformative year of 2025. And the month of December brought a softening, brings a softening and invites us to get intentional with our lives. Why do we do what we do? Seems to be a repeating theme as we move through the month, especially as we experience the Sun, Mars, and Venus moving into Capricorn.
Hmm.
December also opens with the Antares Star Gate portal, a powerful time where we can reflect on themes surrounding forgiveness and acceptance. This is then enhanced by last night's super full moon, which will amplify the energies and bring a softening to our hearts and minds. Love and relationships also create a theme this month as well, especially around December 19th on the new moon. There are some positive energies in the air for enriching our connections with those that we care about. We just have to keep an open mind and try our best to clear the clutter so we can embrace a deeper resonance. In fact, that seems to be the main lesson for December. We talk so much about giving peace and joy as a society in December, but very few of us are actually able to experience these things as we are so busy being distracted by everything else around us.
Mhm.
Make it a priority this month to really slow down and welcome these softer energies that are being offered, and allow yourself to feel them by staying in a place of openness and receptivity, and get intentional and focus on what you can do for others. Okay?
Fabulous. So that Antares Stargate portal, December 2nd through the 4th, which is what we just came through, right? Antares is known as one of the four royal stars, and during this time period, the sun conjuncts with Antares and activating its energy and beaming it straight into our beings. Antares is known as the heart of the scorpion, and this energy can open our own hearts. We may be feeling more abundant and creative in that period, and we may be feeling more compassionate and supportive towards ourselves and our loved ones. In some cultures, Antares is considered the resting place for souls after they depart their bodies and make their way to the afterlife. It is under the energy of Antares that they can weigh up their regrets, their triumphs and memories. We don't have to wait till we are on our way to the afterlife to do this though. So let's take advantage of the moment. Take some time under this star portal to reflect on the course of your life. Is there someone you need to forgive? Now I know we're talking about the 2nd through the 4th, but it's only the 5th. So let's just use this entire period.
Yeah.
Take some time again to is there someone you need to call? How can you use this energy to bring yourself into a state of peace with all that has unfolded? This is the last of 3 super full moons, the one we had last night, and we have had to close out the year. It seems like this is a final chapter or ending to something we have been working to clear or release. We may also experience a full circle moment and perhaps feel a sense of closure as we wrap up 2025. This full moon is also aligned with the end of the Antares portal, making it a deeply healing and forgiving time. And of course, as Star said earlier, we're still in that energy. So let's embrace that. We may find a new openness and softness in our hearts, or find ourselves reaching a new state of peace with a healing journey we have been on. There's also some beautiful creative energy flowing under this full moon. So stay open to any ideas or visions that flow. This would be a good full moon to create art, spend time with friends, or journal. Absolutely love the journal. So December 9th, Mars in Sagittarius, it's square Saturn in Pisces. So when Mars and Saturn get together, tension can usually be felt in the air. This planetary combo can also make us feel like we've come up against a brick wall. Our progress can feel stilted, or we may find that we are blocked somehow from moving ahead. We may observe tense situations in the world around us or in relationships in our own lives. And the best way to navigate this energy is to take responsibility for what is in our control and leave the rest. Come the 10th, we'll have Neptune going direct. Neptune stations direct in Pisces after being retrograde since July 4th. Secrets may be revealed, or more information may come to the surface that we didn't realize the first time. Excuse me. We may also find ourselves experiencing a new sense of spiritual awareness and a deeper understanding of events that occurred in the past. This is a good time to also reflect on your spiritual journey and the lessons you've been moving through. Do you still feel aligned with your spiritual beliefs and values? You may find that something has shifted.
Absolutely. And then on December 11th, Mercury enters Sagittarius. The planet of the messenger moves into adventurous and wise Sagittarius, which is a good time to expand our mindset and try new things. When we expand our minds, they can never go back. See if you can open your mind to learning something new or experiencing a brand new culture. Mercury is still in its shadow phase after last month's retrograde, so past information, insights, or situations may come back around for review. Mercury will officially leave its shadow phase by December 16th. So we're still going through the shadow of it. So yeah, we may still get some inklings of things that's going on. Then we have December 14th, the Sun trine Chiron, a beautiful day for healing. We may feel a sense of calm and ease flowing under this alignment. A sense of peace may find us when we reflect on the healing journey that we have traveled. This is a great day to embrace our wounds rather than wanting to change them. The more we accept who we are, wounds and all, the more peace we will find. The Sun trine Chiron will be our guide on this journey and will help us to feel a growing sense of peace. Then on December 15th, Mars enters Capricorn, the planet of action and energy, enters Capricorn, the sign of ambition, responsibility, and duty. And we may feel more energized to step up and get things done. We may find ourselves climbing that mountain or tackling that difficult project we have been meaning to complete. Mars in Capricorn also gives us a boost of determination and resilience. So we are in for it, in for the long haul, and Mars in Capricorn will help us to see us make it there. Okay. Then we've got December 16th and 17th, the Sun square Saturn. And you can feel like a harder time that's going to happen there, but we are confronted with some challenges or have to face some difficult decision making. Around this date, we can feel the pressures of our to-do list and may find that we are working overtime to get things done. This is a good energy for stepping up and getting our busy work done, but we can take it to the next level by being mindful about our approaches, okay? Why are we doing what we are doing?
Mhm.
Looking at our root intention can help us know whether we are moving into alignment or further away from it. Keep that in mind. This is a busy time of year for most of us. So we can also use this energy to set boundaries and not say yes to everything because we don't want to deplete ourselves like that.
Right.
Okay.
Do not overbook. Do not overschedule.
Yes.
Yes. December 19th and 20th. Sagittarius, that'll be our Sagittarius new moon. So that Sag new moon aligns just before the solstice, making it a powerful new moon for endings. Even though new moons are a sign of new beginnings, it seems for it seems that for this new beginning to unfold, we first have to do away with the old. We're being asked to let go of outdated beliefs that no longer serve a higher vision. We're also being asked to expand our minds and to perhaps change our philosophy around some things. Juno and Venus are active under this new moon, too, bringing in some strong goddess energy. Our focus may turn to our relationships and what truly matters to us when it comes to those closest to us. Juno is a positive omen for a happy marriage and partnership, so maybe we will receive some news in this area. Okay, so then on the 21st, we hit that sun entering Capricorn. That is our winter solstice. The sun moves into Capricorn, bringing the start of a new zodiac season and the December solstice. The solstice marks the time when the sun stands still, giving us the longest day of the year in the southern hemisphere and the shortest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. The solstice is also the official start date of either summer or winter. The solstice has long been revered as a magical time where we can access the energy grid of Mother Nature with greater ease. And with the sun shifting, we can feel the thinning veil and open our senses to higher realms. And there's no joke about that. That veil has been really thin lately. This is a power day in our month for intuitive work and intention setting.
Yeah.
So, as that sun shifts into Capricorn, we're also encouraged to find new ambition and to think about the journey we wish to travel. We may be thinking about setting goals for the year ahead, but we have time to map out our journey. Come December 24th, Venus enters Capricorn, and that goddess of love moves into hardworking Capricorn on the 24th. This is not a lovey dovey placement but a practical one. We're asked to get practical when it comes to matters of love and to look at things from a more practical viewpoint. Seeing things in black and white may help us know where we stand and can take the emotions out of a decision. Venus moving into Capricorn is also a positive placement when it comes to business ideas and making money. So, if you have a side hustle that you want to get off the ground, this would be supportive energy. Fabulous and fabulous. All right. So
Yeah.
now that we've gone through all the astrology of it all, you know what we have to do. Got to pull a card.
All right.
I'm love you know, actually this December period, I'm digging it. I like that we're heading into the solstice. I like that we're heading into this period where the veils are thin. Well, the veils have been thin. My dreams have been off the wall. But
Yeah.
love, love, love. Let's go ahead and pull a card. As
Yeah.
as we were just reading in our astrology piece here. Oh, and I'm dropping cards already. I think it's important that we look at what is it then that we need to be really wrapping up before this winter solstice. So let's do a little pondering and let's just try to pull a card to help us understand what is it that we need to be looking at that really needs to be wrapped up, tied
Okay.
up with a bow.
Okay. Let's see.
Ooh, wee.
All right.
I-
Ooh.
I'm sorry, y'all. I have to find my jumper. Ace of Wands. I'm saying that because this card was a card I pulled in last night in my work last night with Northern New Jersey Tarot, my tarot group. This energy, Ace of Wands, and again, yes, I am working with the Witch's Tarot. It sits on my desk now. Um, but this card popped out last night in the work I was doing, and I am seeing it again today. So, what is it reminding me of? It is talking about for me, this is the fire. This is reminding us that aces always talk about the new beginnings and the starts of things and the inspiration of it all and being inspired or inspirited. In this instance, that divine spark. So, what it suggests to me is I really have to figure out where I am wasting my energy so that I can access the energy that's needed for what's coming next. So this is really a call out to, and if Melissa, you're still there, you know what we were talking about last night. Um, this is for me really a call out to say, where am I wasting my energy and rein that in, tie it up with a bow, and do not allow it to move forward into this next cycle so I can have access to this new energy that's coming in. I did pull another card just because I had my jumper on the ground, and my other card was the Emperor. And what is that telling me? The Emperor is telling me I need to set the tone. I need to set the what do I want to say? I need to build a path. I need to build my own path, and that's my responsibility. But I can't build my path unless I have the energy to do it.
All right. Okay. And I am using the Witch's Tarot as well. Um, yeah, I'm using the Witch's Tarot again, as per usual. And I have the Page of Pentacles. And if you look at her and how it's all set up there,
Mm-hmm.
my thing is, and it's so funny because I'm kind of heading into that, and I think it's telling me to go ahead with what I need to do financially for that land and the farming and all of that, and um, getting myself prepared for a few things that has to be done anyways this week coming up, which is before the solstice. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
few things financially I have to set in place this before the solstice, and um, to me, it's pretty much shouting at me all the things that I need to prepare for those things to happen.
Yes.
I'm 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 I'm
Fabulous.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm listening to
Fabulous
you. I'm
call
doing
out.
it.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
And Rhonda and I would like to thank everyone in the chat, whether now or in the playback.
Yeah.
And we want to thank our guest Sahira Anaisa Al Fenice
Yeah.
for being on the show with us tonight and sharing her wisdom. And
Please do like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Just
yes,
share with a friend. Let them know that
let
we're
them know
still
we're here.
here. We're doing this thing.
And we
Thank you
love
all
doing it.
so much for joining us again. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you
Yes.
for being with us. And hey, have a fabulous week. Wait. Who's coming up next week? Do we know what's
Oh, right.
going on?
Yes, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Christian Day.
hello.
We will have Christian Day on December 12th.
Let us not
Yes.
forget who's
Yes.
coming next week.
On next week is Christian Day.
Yes.
Come on and join us, and we can ask. Come on and say what you have to say. We're there. All right.
All the questions, all the things. Listen, everyone, have a great week. We'll see you next Friday.
Yes. Take care, everyone.